Ladies and gents, hello and a very warm welcome to something that is new for the AramTraining channel. The start of a series of Learn to Row videos. And this is in a first step tailored to people who have never touched a boat, who have no experience on the rowing machine, and who want to get fit without getting injured. And that's my prime objective. So if that's interesting for you, follow me. Let's go. Session number 1. Get comfortable with your rowing machine. It might look different than this. This is a BioRower Pro. It's a company that I founded, and it's by far the best rowing machine in the world, but not everybody has access to this. But I will still demonstrate things on here because it's easier to later transfer this into the boat if you ever decide to row on the water. I will also show the differences to classic linear drive rowing machines where applicable. First step, on a BioRower, you adjust your foot stretches. You should adjust the foot stretches in such a way that when you're upright, the oar handles should touch each other when you're perfectly upright. When you lean back, I want about a fist in between. Now that's a personal preference. Some people like to have a fist in between here and even more space when they pull past the body. That is personal preference. The closer you bring the foot stretchers to yourself, the more space you've got here, but the less reach you have at the catch. Second step, how do you hold the oars? On a BioRower, you hold them like this, that your thumb is on the outside. And typically, rowing boats are set up in such a way that when your oars overlap mid-drive, the left hand is on the top of the right hand. So now, as we start to drive, we're going across, the left hand will sit slightly on top of the right hand. At the finish, they can be almost the same height again. When you go forward, we do something that is called stacking and lead lag. So stacking means the left hand is on top of the right one, but the right hand is also in that little groove of your left hands when you go forward. And then when they separate, they're the same level again. On a linear drive rowing machine, it looks a bit different. You hold the oars on the outside, and sometimes I like to put my little finger just a bit to the outside to feel where the end of the grip is. Let's look at the base positions. Position number 1 is the finish. The finish is the end of the drive phase. So this here is the drive, and that is what we call the recovery. So the end of the drive is the finish position. The finish position is not so much about where your hands are, it's about how stable your torso is, but more on that later. This here is the catch position. How do you get into the various positions? Well, if you take your first couple of strokes, I recommend you start with feet out. Feet out refers to if your feet are strapped in or whether your feet are strapped out. A question many people ask is, how high should your foot stretchers be? The lower the foot stretchers are, the easier it is on your low back. What I personally do not want is that you have to force your way in to the catch because your feet are so high. It restricts your space. So maybe start with lower settings. I'm on a BioRower Pro. I use setting number 5, so one hole is open and I'm in the second from the top. This is how I feel most comfortable. Let's start the first couple of strokes. On a BioRower, thumbs are on the outside. Don't hold your oars too tight. My grandfather taught me something very valuable when he taught me to play table tennis. He said, hold the bat like a bird. If you hold it too tight, it will die. If you hold it too loosely, it will fly. And the same is true for the rowing oar handle. Essentially, we want to use our hands like hooks. So never squeeze it and kill it. No, you don't need to hold on it for your dear life. Just use it as a hook. Now, you see my body position. You see my body posture. How am I set up? For the beginning, your legs are loosely extended as they support the seat. Then, here, the low torso is fairly stable. Don't be in a hollow back position. This is not a deadlift. If you're interested in why rowing is not a deadlift, look at this video right here. We've got a muscle that is called the transverse abdominis, and essentially is our muscle corset. And it's a deep muscle. It's very difficult to contract. You can engage it by trying to feel like you're tall. So from your imaginary belt to your sternum, try to be a bit taller. That's all. Try to be as relaxed as you can be and give it a slight whisk of being tall. And now at the finish, here, feel your upper abs. And when you pull with your arms only, that is arms only, feel that your upper abs kind of approach your hands. Don't make it much of a motion. Don't do this. This is way too much. It's a subtle motion. What you will feel is that you have tremendous stability of your abs and your core. But don't overcontract them. Don't work too hard. Follow me, do a couple strokes, arms only. This is what we're going to use later as a stroke build-up. Couple strokes, arms only. Going to balance mode. So when you've done arms only, the right way, you will realize this is not about forward extending your arms. No, stay loose. And when you come into the finish, make sure your elbows pull out. Once more, focus on that, elbows out, extend loosely, and always abs slightly present. Not the chest out, abs slightly present. Okay, important, don't do this upright or in a forward-facing position. It's the end of the drive, so a slight lean back. How much? Just a bit more than upright. Everybody has personal preferences, and it also depends on your physique. So if you want to get personal feedback, join the rowing classes on AramTraining.com. But you can also estimate for yourself right now. A bit more than upright, just enough so you can control here. If you manage to essentially have low shoulders and pull with the elbows out, do it a couple more strokes. What are common traps? Some people do this, so you come in that way. No, what we want is to go out. Go out. That's a different motion. Shoulders are fairly low. Out. Out. Okay? Let's do arms and upper body. Feet are still out. We don't need them yet, for a very good reason. Second, arms and upper body. The motion is you bring your arms loosely away, and then it's one of the most important motions in the entire rowing stroke. You rotate your torso forward, and by rotating the torso from the sternum down to the belt buckle, to the imaginary one, forward, your seat should slightly be pushed back. Not much, a couple millimeters, that's enough. This helps you to rotate the entire pelvis forward, but I don't want a hollow back. I just want to rotate my torso forward so that my entire pelvis rotates around the fixed hip joint. So don't bend your knees while you do this. Also don't lock them out, but have them loosely straight and stable. So from the finished position, arms slowly move forward. At that stage, relax your wrists, relax your elbows. Loose, don't do this. Loosely relaxed, and then rotate forward. So it's not like your hands pull your upper body forward. No, your arms loosely come forward, and you rotate the entire torso forward. How should you pull? Well, first, you start to engage your upper body. Let's do a couple strokes, upper body only. Leave your arms long, leave your legs long. Use your fingers like hooks. Don't do much. Just feel how the weight of your upper body propels the flywheel. That's very important for later on. A lot of people start to learn rowing the wrong way, think it's all about legs, upper body, and arms. No, it's about your core. It's about using your body weight. This is how you become fast. And then, when you feel like your upper body runs out of motion because you don't want to lean back too much, this is why I want to row feet out, so you can't overdo it. Then you use your arms in complete. Elbows out, abs out. Try this in slow motion. Upper body weight, elbows out, abs out. Be as relaxed as you can be in a very pinpointed way. Engage your upper abs. We haven't done a full stroke yet, but you have learned more than you will learn if you do this by yourself. So, what are some classic mistakes? Classic mistakes are that people pull with their hands just the shoulders forward and round their back. Rowing is about a stable torso. If you want a stable torso, you need to bring the torso forward. Put your oars away for a second and just do this exercise with me. Feet out, lean back, abs out, hands to your upper abs, loose elbows, low shoulders. And now bring your arms loosely away. And when you feel the slightest bit of pull on your lats, actively roll forward, push the seat back. Once more. Arms loosely forward, actively roll forward. You don't need to lean forward a lot at the moment. Later on, you can increase the lean forward and lean back. That will come. For now, I want you to learn the basics, the necessities that you will benefit from later on. Let's grab the oar handles once more and do arms and upper body. Feel your body weight. Initially, you just pull with your upper body and then you move out. Pull with your upper body, pull out, abs out. Don't think about working with your arms. This is not about arms here. Rowing is not so much about arms. It's about torso. Okay, let's start with step number 3. Once you have rotated the upper body forward with the pelvis, keep your arms loose. Don't extend them completely. It's a classic mistake. Keep them loose, shoulders low, elbows loose, wrists loose, and your hands fairly loose as well. I don't hold them tight, fairly loose. Slightly angled if you want, so your elbows can come out a tiny bit. And then, when you have pushed your seat back a tiny bit, not much, not like that, a tiny bit, it's loose and relaxed. You have to relax when you row. It's exhausting enough anyway. Hands forward, upper body rotates forward, then bend your knees and slide forward until you are at half slide. Half slide is hands above feet, roughly. Half slide refers to half of your desired complete slide path. This way. The most important thing is, let go of your oars for a second, please, that you rotate forward before your knees bend. That's a classic mistake. Many people do this. And that leads to the point where your pelvis is always in a reclined position, so you cannot use your torso during the drive, so you hurt your back and you're going to be slow. You won't hurt it on a BioRower, but on linear drive rowing machines, it will hurt in the long run. So, move forward, and then you feel a bit of a stretch possibly here in your hamstrings. That's okay for a second. And now, as you bend your knees to slide forward, for me it feels like a ski jumper. Lift yourself forward, tall, until you're here. Now, I focus on having my abs, my low abs long. It feels like somebody's pulling this up and forward. Not here, there, that low. Let's try this together. Hands loosely forward. Don't extend them completely. Loose wrists, loose elbows. Push your seat back. Feels like your heels are pushed down into the foot stretchers. And then once you have rotated the upper body forward, you see it's not much. Slide forward into half slide. Feel like this is becoming tall. Low back is becoming tall. You don't need to lean forward a lot. And now here, start a couple tabs with your legs only. Like that. What I want you to feel is that your legs propel the torso. Your arms don't pull. They don't hold tight. They just function like hooks. They don't do anything actively at that stage. They just transfer. A good metaphor to go for is that your feet should try to move the handles in order to move the resistance unit. And you want to almost bypass the shoulders and go straight into your torso. Legs only, legs only. And then slowly increase the length of your leg drive from half slide to 1/4 slide, half slide to 1/4 slide. Still no upper body, still no arm pull. It's just heavy. All you do is being heavy, low shoulders. And now use legs and upper body half slide, legs and upper body half slide. Feel heavy and feel that you're bypassing the shoulders. Straight from your hands into your torso. Your arms just function as hooks. And then use your arms. Abs out, elbows out. Now we do a full recovery sequence. Loosely your arms forward. Push the seat back. Stay tall, half slide, push. Heavy. Does it make sense? I'm going to take a couple of strokes. Use your arms like hooks. Half slide. And this really is all you need to know in your first lesson. It's already quite a bit. And as you feel it's comfortable, you can slowly increase your length to full slide. How much should you go forward? As long, you can go forward as much as you want, provided your low back is stable and your pelvis doesn't tilt back. That is the most important thing. What I don't want you to do is do this. This is not about bringing your seat to your heels, because this will mess with the upper body position. That is a good upper body position. This is not what I want, okay? So take a couple of strokes. And feel how you're heavy at the finish and with the abs out. All right, that is a first introductory session to rowing. This is how you should start to row. There are more videos to come. Which exercises should you be doing? What are exercises you can do when you're not on a rowing machine? How do you best prepare? How do you warm up? And of course, this lesson series continues. So subscribe and stay tuned if you want to see lesson number 2 when it comes out. Until then, my name's Aram. If you want to have personal feedback and life coaching online, go to AramTraining.com. If you're interested in the BioRower Pro, which doesn't hurt your back and is the original rowing machine, so a true rowing motion on land, go to BioRower.com. Thank you for watching.